Hey guys, the world is on fire and I still don't want to edit a houseplant tour, so this is the next best thing, showing you my favorite plants. It's still a plant video, I'm still showing you my plants, but I don't have to go around film everything. I currently can't even do that because there is a nightmare on my floor because I'm in the middle of a project. I am building a miniature greenhouse, which I will make a video after I'm done with it, but that's all on the floor. I'm not gonna film a houseplant tour anytime soon. I just need to come to terms with that. So instead, I'm going to be just showing you some of my favorite plants in my collection. I have to say that I love all of my plants, that's why I have them. Clearly I have my favorites, which again, going to be showing you now. I also wanted to mention that I'm doing my best to add closed captions to my videos. It's definitely a process. I can't guarantee that I will do it for every video and probably not for the ones going backwards, but in the future my new videos should have closed captions. The ones that are auto-generated by YouTube are not the worst from what I've seen, at least on my videos, but they're also not ideal. The ones that I'm adding are also not perfect because they're just the auto-generated ones that I edit to make them better and more cohesive to what's actually in the video, etc. I'm not in the position to pay someone to make professional closed captions for my videos, so I'm trying my best because I want to be inclusive to people who may be hard of hearing, who just can't listen to my videos. So I want that to be available. So yeah, that's a mini update on what's happening with my channel as well. All that being said, let's jump into me showing you some plants that I absolutely love. These are in no particular order. I'm just going to be grabbing plants and showing you them and talking a tiny bit about them. So we're going to first start with the Anthurium clarinervium, which so beautiful, so amazing. It's currently blooming, which is the reason why it's still in its previous pot. It needs to be repotted, but I don't want to do it while it's still blooming. I think it might overwhelm it. I shouldn't have let it bloom, but I did, so I'm going to wait until it's done blooming and then I will repot it. Like, it's gonna go in this. I bought an orchid pot so I can see its roots. It gets more aeration and stuff, but it's such a beautiful plant and I'm so happy with it. Like, this leaf, hold on, let me just try to get it better. This leaf has some crusting around it, but it is the only leaf. It's not all the leaves. I think it's getting decent enough humidity for it. I think it's happy. Its roots look amazing. They're so like thick and white and fluffy, and wow. I absolutely recommend if you can get a decent humidity. Like, this is not in a terrarium, it's not enclosed in anywhere. If you can get your hands on one of these, do it. I got this one on plants.com. I don't know if they have it in stock or not. I got it for 20 euros, like this whole thing, and it's been doing amazing. Then I have this Pothos and Joy. I find them so cute. Like, the variegation on it is so beautiful, like it's so white. Currently this is a propagation that is in some moss in a glass, but I just wanted to show you because I think they're very nice. Like, they're very common to find. I think these are very cool variegated plants and you should get some. Then from back here I have the philodendron micans. I have two of these plants. By the way, this is in a knitted pot that I am also selling on Etsy. Self-promo, link in the description, I guess. So I have two of these. I have this plant, I have that plant. The one behind me hanging there, I actually started from just like a small cutting that was barely rooted, and now it's like basically almost a full plant. It's not huge, but and then I got another one because I enjoyed the other micans so much, so I got another one. I think these are just really cool. They're very beautiful. They have really nice velvety texture. They're quite like, they have this deep color and they're not just pure green. Like, they sometimes have this reddish pink hue to it, and they're very nice to touch because of their velvety texture. They're very fun plants. I really like them. Then next up we have this Hastatum silver sword. Now, this is a baby. When I got it, it was maybe 2 leaves with a third unfurling, something like that. Again, from plants.com. It has a new leaf coming. It should definitely be on a pole or a support or something because it totally like leans, and I'm very scared it might snap at the base at some point. because it's usually like leaning on some other plants on the shelf, but I definitely need to give it some support so it can climb, so it can get bigger leaves. Like this last one here is smaller than the others, so I think I need to definitely give it some support. But this one is such an amazing plant. It has this silvery sheen look to it. It's brilliant. It's definitely worth getting one of these if you can. I liked it so much that I literally got a second one of these, and that's over there as well. Just beautiful. Then I have the Philodendron Prince of Orange. This is a baby plant. It has grown a bunch since I got it, also from plants.com. It needs to be a bit watered, that's why this leaf is slightly curly, but it is also super beautiful. Its new leaves come in this beautiful bright orange that turns to like this orangey red that turns eventually into these greens, but even the green has a bit of that orange hue, and it seems like, what's the point, like it kind of reverts after it puts out the new leaf, but the color is stable, so every single new leaf will come out orange and then fade to green. I don't think the color of the green afterwards looks bad, because a lot of plants that turn from a color to green can look a bit muddy, but I think the orange hue in the green that is left looks very nice. It doesn't look like the leaf is browning or anything like that. It just looks very beautiful. I'm not sure how well it's coming off on camera because this leaf is very bright orange. Like the tips are starting to turn the green because it's quite a large leaf actually. It's just curly. Again, in a pot that I'm selling on Etsy. Now listen, Syngoniums I think are my favorite plant species or genus, or I never know which is the right term. I love Syngoniums, and this particular one I think might be my favorite plant ever. Wow, look at its variegation. Okay, I did not have too high hopes when I first bought this plant because I got it as a barely rooted cutting which had one leaf which didn't really have any white at all. You could see where it would have had its variegation, but it was not variegated at all, and it had one new leaf forming which you could kind of see would have some variegation, but I wasn't sure how much it would actually turn out. So it's lost its first leaf, which was the very oldest, the green leaf, just now. I just removed it before this video, and then it came out with this one which had very tiny bits of variegation, which was fine. I lied, that's not the second leaf. This is the second leaf, so it had a bit of variegation, which was cool in itself. Like this is a cool leaf, which is actually very different from the rest of them. You can see it's more tri-colored in the other ones, whereas this one was just really dark green and then with like these white triangles. But then it started popping out super beautifully variegated leaves, and it's been growing quite quickly as well. It's been showing me nothing but love. It's been growing beautifully. It droops just a tiny bit when it needs to be watered. That's how I know it gets watered. I water it and it perks up and it's beautiful and it keeps putting out new leaves. I think when it puts out one more leaf, I'm going to propagate it again. I kind of don't want to cut this plant up, but at the same time I do, because I want more of them because they are so beautiful. Also, normally I wouldn't risk cutting it, but you can definitely see there a node. Like it's very clear where the node is. It even has a tiny aerial root nub forming. So I'm very confident that it would root and it would be fine, you know, that I'm not just chopping up my plant for no reason. But I will see when that time comes, and I will probably make a video about propagating this guy. And yeah, I think for the longest time this has definitely been my favorite plant in my whole collection. I'm sure I've mentioned it before because wow. I have a lot of other amazing plants that I'm just not going to show you because I did not bring them here, that are out of reach. Like I have the Alocasia silver dragon. I have two baby ones doing amazingly. One of them has a spot of variegation. I don't think it's actually a variegated silver dragon. I think it's just a genetic defect, like as if we would have a birthmark or something like that on the plant. Still looks super cool. They've been doing great. Also the Alocasia black velvet, amazing, just turned out a new leaf. Absolutely worth it if you can get a black velvet. get a black velvet. They are worth it. Syngonium neon robusta, beautiful, amazing pink plant. I mean, all of my plants, they're amazing. Like the Begonia maculatus right behind me, amazing. The Philodendron Brazil, amazing. My everything's amazing. I love my plants. What I showed you were some of my favorites. All of them would 10 out of 10 recommend. For me, they have been very unproblematic. They haven't required excessive care or super extreme conditions like super high humidity or super high lighting. Although I do have to mention that at a minimum, my room is mostly at like 50% humidity, and most of these plants are in windows. But again, these windows aren't receiving that much light. For example, over there I have a window, but I also have a house right in front of it. So these aren't even the most ideal lighting situations, and they are doing fine in winter. And that amazes me. So yeah, I don't have a lot much more to say. I love my plants. I hope you enjoyed looking at my plants. What are your favorite plants? Comment in the description down below. Comment in the description. I don't know why I said that. Leave a comment down below about what your favorite plant is. Which is your favorite of my favorite plants? Have you struggled with any of the plants that I mentioned that I find super easy to care for? Like this video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I appreciate it a lot. That's it. That's the video.